The turn-based strategy genre is one of my favorite genres to play on mobile because their controls translate so well to touchscreens. And that's why I wanted to put together this list of 10 of my favorites. Don't forget to leave a like, pop a sub, and comment. It really helps me out. But without further ado, let's get right into it. First up, we have Battle for WESNOTH, which has a distinct retro feel to it overall, and it has a hexagonal board to boot. Now, this has hundreds upon hundreds of hours of content here. It's honestly staggering, and it has several difficulty levels and options associated with those. Now, this really does feel like a mixture between Fire Emblem and Advance Wars, except a little bit more complicated than that, but it's really solid and really satisfying to play. This is an easy recommendation from me. Next up, we have Insignia Tactics, which is by far the most slept on game in this list and one of my favorites in this list. Now, it feels like Tactics Ogre or the Final Fantasy Tactics series, if you're familiar with those, and this has everything that those have to offer, and the gameplay is just so satisfying and so fun. Now, if you can look past the art style, it is really ugly and jarring when you first start playing, but then it kind of has a charm to it, similar to Dream Quest if you're familiar with that game, so don't let the art style scare you. Definitely give this one a try. It's one of my favorites. Next up, we have Battle for POLYTOPIA, which is as close to a classic in this genre as you can get on mobile. Now, this is kind of like a Civ Lite, where you choose a faction, you build out buildings, acquire resources, recruit units, and kind of explore around a map that has fog of war mechanics on it, and then you discover where your enemy is and you try to vanquish them. There is so many game modes on offer here, including single player and multiplayer game modes. This does everything right, and if you're looking for a free option, this is probably the best on the list. Next up, we have Phobies, and I'm sure the regular viewers on my channel are sick of me suggesting this game, but I absolutely love its art style. It has so much personality and charm to it, and this has asynchronous as well as real-time game modes against opponents in multiplayer, and this does have cross-progression as well as cross-platform gameplay, so you can pick this up on mobile, put it down, and then play it on your PC when you're at home, which is really cool, and this game consistently gets updates, and it's just super competitive, and I love the balance between capturing objectives as well as just trying to wipe out your opponent. It's awesome. Definitely give it a try. Next up, we have Dungeon Reels Tactics, which has a super unique battle system that includes slot machine-like mechanics where you spin for certain symbols that allow you to attack, defend, or cast abilities, and it really is a cool mixture between luck and strategy, and it just works well. I really love the art style of this game too. This has a ton of potential, and I'm excited to see how this game is fleshed out further into the future. Definitely give it a look. Next up, we have Warbits, which is another classic in this genre on mobile. Now, this plays a lot like Advance Wars, except it's a little bit more mobile friendly. It has a pick up and play kind of nature to its level design, and it's shorter and a little bit more bite-sized, and I think that plays to its strength overall and helps it stand out. It's a little bit simpler than the rest of the games on this list, but it definitely scratches the same itch, so definitely check it out if you're looking for a premium mobile experience. Next up, we have Gem Wizards Tactics, which I love its pixel art, and it has a hexagonal board. Now, this feels like Fire Emblem in a way, but the units actually interact with each other in really unique ways when it comes to their abilities, and they can kind of play off of one another, and it unlocks some really deep strategies later on. There's a ton of different game modes on offer here too, and it's a completely premium experience. I highly suggest this one. It really took me by surprise. Next up, we have Kingdom Draw, which is basically the Feria of mobile if you're familiar with that game. Now, this is a mixture between a CCG and a turn-based tactical strategy game, and these two elements really work well and give this game a unique flavor, especially for you CCG fans out there, which I am one myself. So this was really cool to experience, and I'm glad this is on mobile, and if this developer continues to update this with new content and new cards, this is going to be a force to be reckoned with. Definitely give it a try. Next up, we have Barnard'S, which can be played in portrait or landscape, which is absolutely awesome in my opinion. Now, this is a space-themed turn-based tactical strategy game, and the levels are very bite-sized. The matches are quick, but also very strategic, and there are single-player and multiplayer modes to boot, but the multiplayer modes are asynchronous, so that can be a positive or negative depending on who you are, but I've really enjoyed my time with this one, and it's completely premium, so definitely check it out. Last but not least, we have Into the Breach, which is a full-fledged game on other platforms, but Netflix got their hands on it and they have the exclusive rights to this game, and they also brought in all of the DLC with the game too. So this is the full-fledged game on mobile. Now this is a really well done game by the makers of FTL, and it has a really cool balance of mechanics where you're having to protect cities and civilians in order to power up your mechs and make yourself stronger. It's really cool. I highly suggest this one, and you can't go wrong with it if you already have a Netflix account. Definitely go download it right now. Alright guys, there were 10 of my favorite games in the turn-based strategy genre. Don't forget to leave a like, pop a sub, and comment if it helped you out in any way. And feel free to check out that link in the description down below to see more content from me. I love you guys. I hope you guys are staying safe and take it easy.